Welcome to Patient Zero. I'm your host, Branch Isole. Patient Zero shares a focus on personal, career, and spiritual relationship growth and sustainability. The term Patient Zero generally describes a point of origin for any experience, event, or entity. From the moment of our creation, as a spirit of origination, each of us becomes the patient zero of our lifetime journey. On Patient Zero, you'll hear tips and takeaways for healthier daily interactions to achieve greater success at home and work. You'll also learn how prophecy can educate, entertain, and edify, with an awareness about prophetic events, people, and circumstances, to help you know and better prepare for God's purpose-filled plans. At the midpoint of the 7-year tribulation, after Christian and Messianic believers have been raptured for the wedding feast of Christ and His bride, what will happen to those left behind? What will life be like on earth when the Antichrist comes to power? This week, we're talking about the important mid-trib events when real danger and damage starts. Remember, we had the first promised end times event when Israel became a nation state once again in a single day. That happened May 14th, 1948. The second promised end time event that the entire world would see is the current Middle East, Israel, Hamas, Iran, Hezbollah, Houthi conflict. And the third promised coming event the entire world will witness is the Ezekiel War. The treaty that will start the 7-year tribulation is the treaty that will end the Ezekiel War. And during the first 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation, the first 4 judgments described in the book of Revelation will rain down on the earth. Now, most people just believe this is climate change gone amok, and that God has nothing to do with it. However, these 3.5 years with the 4 trumpet judgments will occur between November 2027 and May 2031. When we reach the mid-tribulation period in May 2031, the world will have been changed forever, and nothing will ever be the same again. It's during these 3.5 years, the first half of the tribulation years, that the birth pains Jesus described in Matthew 24 will have run their course. Having left the global death and destruction in their wake in preparation for the rapture and the last days. Within a matter of weeks, when the last days begin, in June 2031, these events are prophesied to happen. First, Satan's longtime apprentice will become the Antichrist, and his army will invade Jerusalem and take over the third temple. This causes an exodus of Israel's remnant, the Jews still left in Israel, to flee to Petra, Jordan. And it's during these first 3.5 final years, known as the tribulation years, that set the stage for the last 3.5 years, or the second half of the 7-year period, known as the Great Tribulation. The difference is, at mid-tribulation with the rapture, God's Holy Spirit will have been removed from earth, leaving the entire world to become the Antichrist kingdom, with its remaining population to face a future without God's protective spiritual presence. There will be an earthquake in Jerusalem, leaving thousands dead. The Antichrist will break the covenant with Israel and her neighbors from the treaty that ended the Ezekiel War, and this breaking of the treaty will give a 30-day pause between the first half of the 7-year tribulation and the final half of the 7-year tribulation. His breaking of the treaty will stop all Jewish worship at the third temple as he takes over and occupies the Holy of Holies space in the temple. The Antichrist will declare himself God, and his right-hand man, the false prophet, will erect an image of the Antichrist in the middle of the temple. This action in the Bible is known as the abomination of desolation. As the Antichrist institutes his economic program, the mark of the beast, through his false prophet, as a symbol of loyalty for all to accept and display. This will be done by marks on the body, on the forehand, or the forehead. Now, accepting this mark will be twofold. First, those with the mark of the beast will be able to participate in local, regional, and global commerce. Second, having shown this allegiance to the Antichrist by taking his mark, worship and acceptance of Satan will be in evidence by those who now bear this mark of the beast. By their choice to resist, any who fail to take the mark will be immediately sentenced to death, hunted down, captured, and put to death, while those with the mark will be doomed to spend eternity with Satan. If you're still alive in this last 3.5-year period, as terrible as things may become, whatever else you do, do not take the mark. You see, when the Antichrist military invades Jerusalem at mid-tribulation, God's two witnesses who have been on the steps calling down the judgments from heaven during the first 3.5 years, as described by the 4 trumpet judgments, those 2 men will be killed. They will have been presented to the world as the reason for the cosmic and climate destruction and deaths during the first half of the tribulation, between January 2028 and May 2031. The whole world will rejoice at their deaths and celebrate by sending each other gifts. Upon their death, their bodies will lie in the street for 3 days. But on the 3rd day, they will stand erect and be taken to heaven with the entire world watching. Once these 2 witnesses have been raptured, waiting believers should be prepared. You see, prophecy clues reveal that there's a 30-day interim period when the Antichrist prepares and sets up his kingdom. A mid-trib rapture will occur in this 30-day time frame. But God's love is so great, He's provided prophetic events, warnings, to reveal these coming events to each of us, that by knowing, we might avoid the suffering and the emotional stress. You see, behind prophecy are 3 often misunderstood descriptions that confuse and confound many. These are the seals, the trumpets, and the bowls. These 3 pivotal warnings are about the end times and last days events during the 7-year tribulation period. And the book of Revelation reveals that Jesus Christ holds a scroll bound by these 7 seals, and that only He has the power to break those seals. When He does, each one reveals an event that leads to or is a key element of the end times. These are what the seals reveal. First, the first 4 involve a horse and rider known as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The first is the white horse of conquest. The second is the red horse of war. The third is the black horse of justice. And the 4th is the pale horse of death. The remaining seals, Numbers 5, 6, and 7, reveal Christian martyrs in heaven, for number 5, a great earthquake, for number 6, and the trumpet judgments, number 7. Each trumpet judgment is blown, and a judgment to be endured takes place on earth. The first 4 trumpets are heard during tribulation's first 3.5 years. The final 3 trumpets are heard during the great tribulation years, or the last 3.5, the last half. The sound of each trumpet unveils separate events with increasing devastation and calamity. Now, for mid-trib believers, meaning believers who believe the rapture will happen at mid-tribulation, it happens at the sound of the fifth trumpet, signaling the rapture is to take place, and also signaling through the rapture the beginning of the great tribulation years for those left on earth to endure the Antichrist kingdom. In the great tribulation years, God concerns himself exclusively with the remnant of Israel and literally abandons the rest of the world to fend and or survive without his grace and spirit. The sounding of the sixth trumpet prepares the world for the Battle of Armageddon to take place between the armies of the Antichrist and Jesus Christ's second return, which is announced by the seventh trumpet. Thanks for joining me today. On Patient Zero, we share key takeaways for growth-filled living. If you know someone who could benefit from today's episode, please share it with them. And if today's show has been interesting for you, please give us a rating and review. To know more about my work, I invite you to visit my website, branchesole.com, my Substack page, branchesole.substack.com, and my YouTube channel, Branch Isole. Substack subscribers also receive a thought for today every morning, 2 spiritual Christianity prophecy alerts every week, and an open mic poem short story every Saturday, as well as access to archived Patient Zero episodes, informative series, and articles. Today's episode has been sponsored by Manao Publishing and my ebook, Dreams and Schemes. If you're interested in knowing more about spiritual growth, Dreams and Schemes is the ebook for you. It's available at the website as well as from Amazon. At the website, you'll find all of my books, ebooks, and gift merchandise. Thanks for joining me today. Join me again next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at branchesole.substack.com for our episode, Life Defined. Until then, keep growing and be in the world, not of the world.